This is pure happiness beaming out of me.
This is my birthday, and this is Just Paul. And each year, I think that I get a little weirder. I mean, I've had a fake food related business for about 4 years now, but now we're starting to really dive deep into it. It's become a very expensive hobby of mine. I treated myself to a bunch of new supplies and dropped $350 on a bunch of AB mix foam and a buttload of silicone. But how can you doubt just these creations? So when I was thinking, Jessica, what do you want to do for the big 3-0? The year that initiates us into Jenna Marbles' 30-something-year-old lady club. If there is something that I could do on my birthday that I don't get to do every day of the week because I have adult responsibilities and I have to make rent and chase my dreams. Sometimes I also like to make fake food. And because it's my birthday, I'm specifically going to be making a piece of birthday cake. I think it's going to be as adorable as it sounds. And you'll be here for the birthday party. What a weird birthday party. First of all, do you like my werewolf attack leggings? And 2, do you know what this is? Fake foam cake? Fake cake foam. Foam cake form. This is what they use sometimes to decorate a cake in the window of a wedding cake store. A wedding cake store. A bakery. And I'm going to use it as a base for my birthday cake. This is not a tutorial. I'm just bringing you along with the ride of me discovering what works and what doesn't. And to make a piece of cake, you have to kind of get creative because it's a little tough to mold a cake. So you have to use materials that you actually can manipulate and can kind of dry. So we're going to make a fake piece of cake. Oh, that was beautiful.
Someone kissed me before I lost my mind. I'm caught in the past, so the flashback turns a profit of some kind. Someone kissed me before I lose my mind. I'm got in the hatches, seatbelts, everyone's feeling reckless.
I am surprised and stoked that that did exactly what I wanted it to do. There's styrofoam in my eyelashes. So I immediately Googled, is burning styrofoam toxic? The first article I read said it was, so I turned my fan up on high to get the fumes away from my face as soon as possible. I would refrain from telling you that that was an okay thing to do, but it made the little river of, that kind of goes between 2 layers of cake.
And the daylight is a forlorn thought in the December air. I'm freezing and I love it. And we're tossed out in the great unknown and just a highway glow. Grown up adolescence.
Someone free me from this teenage mind. Self-humiliating, self-deprecating persona was left behind. But on New Year's I'm always resigned. Lonesome memories sound so sweet, even the cliche, cringy kind. Let's sing out windows down. Laugh at how great we sound.
It's the next day, obviously. So the problem I was running into last night is the only fake icing that I own and know how to make was a little too runny. My idea was to leave it out overnight and allow some of the things to air out and get a little bit harder. The cake, it is pretty solid, so I'm hoping that some of these materials together will stay where I put them.
happiness reveal. I don't really know if you are, but I'm gonna show you anyways. Yeah. So, the cooling rack, good for cooling cake and drying paint as well. I can turn around. Let's do a little. You could see some side profiles. Oh, this is way too much fun for me. So I think this one looks the most realistic. Isn't this weird? Does this look weird? Me like throwing around a piece of cake? I'm way too excited about these. It's so awesome because the icing really does literally look like brownie fudge, like frosting. I made this and I still am not quite convinced that this isn't a real piece of cake. Here is my next attempt. This was the first time that I tried the nonpareils at the bottom. This is the one that I ended up making my own. This is my personal piece of birthday cake because my favorite combination is yellow sponge cake with chocolate fudge icing. As you see, looks, again, so real. This one actually was a little bit malformed. As you see on the bottom, they don't usually look like this. They look pretty straight and solid, but this one kind of constructed, it's a little bit tougher than the rest of them, just by a little bit, because I think that I didn't give it enough room to expand and run out of the mold. Like, I stuffed it up a little bit too much, and it was oozing out of the sides, so I think it kind of compacted a little bit, but it actually ended up working pretty well, because this is supposed to go on my head, and it kind of fits a little too perfectly. All of these guys will be available in my store as either headbands, well, this one's going to be a headband, or just pieces of cake that you want to put on your counter. I won't ask. But not only that, I am going to be making a listing of a make your own birthday cake piece so that you can also have a birthday cake hat like me on your birthday. You can pick the type of cake, the icing flavor, and any kind of decorations that I have, including if you want me to write a message on top or put a little whipped cream and cherry. You can go to my Etsy store below to check all of those out. Well, if that isn't just the cutest birthday hat that ever did exist, I'd be completely lying if I didn't say that I love the way that these turned out. There were a couple struggles, a couple hurdles along the way, but I figured it out. Man, this just looks so real. Birthdays are a funny thing. I feel like the connotation of a birthday changes literally every year. Like when I was a child, every single birthday had nothing but a positive connotation, nothing but excitement. Then when I hit 13, it was the best thing ever because all I wanted to be was a teenager when I grew up. 16, you can get your license. I really missed that boat. 18, you're officially an adult. 21, you can drink. 23, you get to listen to that Jimmy Eat World song with more sappy significance than any other year of your life. But then as you start getting older, a birthday coming up might make you think like, have I done enough by this birthday? I'm now old enough where I've actively made a specific difference in a lot of people's lives. Like, are most of those positive differences? When I talk about on this channel how you have the choice to perceive and approach your future with optimism, I don't mean to look in the mirror and try to convince yourself that you're the best version of yourself possible if you don't believe it, because then you're just lying to yourself. And if you're the one making up the lie and then also telling yourself the lie, I'm sorry. I might have needed to be born with some kind of multi-personality disorder to make that shit work. I've never been able to fully latch on to that positive affirmation train as much as I've desperately wanted to, believe me, because I never thought it seemed realistic enough. But what I do 100% believe and stand by is that you do have a lot of control about what reminders, people, and environment that you can surround yourself with. Whether it's decorating the walls that you see every day with positive reminders of your past success, or joining a group or a club or a class that provides encouragement, or deleting certain accounts or notifications on certain social media platforms, or also joining in different online communities that you may have not discovered yet. Because I also think it's pretty unrealistic for all those experts who say to throw your phone away and isolate yourself from all of social media. Enjoy your silent meditation rooms, cyber minimalists. I want to talk to people and see what they're up to, even if just to see their prettiest lattes that they buy over the weekend or how big their pup is getting. I will happily accept all of your pet pictures on my timeline. Please. I'll admit, I've had my low days where all I can think of are the things that aren't happening for me, and I don't notice it until one of my friends tells me that they're sorry, and I'm like, oh, I didn't talk about this stuff for pity. That was the wrong intention, but it put into perspective that I was focusing on more of the negative than the positives in my life. Like that I was asked to be the keynote speaker for a California film festival in April, giving me one of the most selfish reasons to pray to a God that I don't believe in, that this whole corona thing blows over soon. And I also was asked to direct 2 different features. Don't know how serious those offers are, and I really do have to finish reading some scripts soon. And I was very recently invited to display a piece or 2 of mine in the Effects Supplies store, where I get all of my fake food supplies. I don't think they knew how much that meant to me when they offered me that, but I probably wasn't hiding my excitement when they told me that in the center of the store. I said, thank you, I'm honored, like 6 times in 20 seconds. And if you truly can't think of any happy-making people, places, or events in your life, then make your own happy. I've gotten myself into a pretty finicky and expensive hobby that hopefully will make me my money back sometime soon. But I can't describe what it feels like to look over at my bakery corner and see all of my little precious creations. And all it took was my own will and drive. And $350 worth of supplies. If you want to watch me make some of my more fake donuts, you can watch this video here. And if you want to watch me do a pinup retro photo shoot with some of my fake foods, that one is right here. And comment below what kind of food I can make with that flax paint. It can be in a bowl. It can be spread on something else. I just don't want to waste it. Happy birthday to anyone out there who will be celebrating a birthday in the next 365 days. And this is my outro.